Seconds Out, Eamon Khan here with Spencer Oliver. Spencer, Birmingham, somewhere, place close to your heart, you were telling me off camera.
Absolutely, Eamon. Yeah, it was. I won the ABAs here back in 1994. Can you believe that? What is that? 29 years ago. 29 years ago. Shit, that seems like yesterday as well. I beat a guy called John McLean from. He was Scottish guy, John McLean, and good memories. And we're back here Saturday night. How good's that?
How good is that indeed? It's obviously Birmingham, place close to my heart too. It seems to me that boxer and yourself, former fighters like yourself, very much important to give back to the community, which sees us here at Eastside Boxing Club. Giving the kids a little bit of, a couple of tips and a couple of lessons here to give them something to remember, I guess.
Absolutely. Maverick Stars Trust, the Maverick Stars Trust, we work closely with Maverick Stars. They work alongside Boxer, and we like to go, Maverick Stars Trust, to give you a little bit of history about them. They donate equipment to gyms and stuff to help support the local communities and communities that are maybe struggling a little bit with certain things. So we're here with the Maverick Star Trust and with Boxer to go to these gyms and sort of try and inspire the next generation is probably a better way of putting it. So we come here, have little workouts with them and whatnot. And we was in a school earlier on as well, a school for young kids, and we were sort of giving our stories and talking about the big show and trying to inspire them. Give kids hope. I think that's probably a better way of putting it. Some of these areas, are tough, and the kids are looking for certain things to dedicate their time to. And I think by us coming here and sharing our stories and whatnot gives these kids hope, because we're all from this place. It's all about a little bit of self-belief and, and just keep pushing on, If you get those little knockbacks, don't think that's all over. You just keep pushing, and things can happen. And I think that's the general story, and that's why we're at the places like we are today.
There are a number of hopes in the West Midlands fighters that people from the West Midlands and further hope get to the top. Shaq and Pitters is one of them. Casey Benjamin is another. Benn Whitaker is probably the leading light over here. Do you feel he has the tools to get to the top?
Absolutely. It's been a frustrating last year really for Benn Whitaker. I think, when was the last time he boxed? Was on the Alexander Usyk Anthony Joshua fight back in August out in Saudi. He's picked up an injury since then. It's kept him out of the ring. Unbelievable talent he really is, and I think the future's really bright for him, and I'm looking forward to seeing him boxing again on Saturday night, and obviously in his hometown as well. It's going to be fantastic. Atmosphere's going to be insane. There's a virtually sold out arena there on Saturday, and I think that from what we've seen from Benn so far and what we saw of him as an amateur, the kid is he's got superstar status. I think if he gets it right and if he stays injury free, it's not a case of when he wins a world title, but it's more a case of how many world titles does he win. That's the way that I see it.
Heading at the top of the card is Joshua Buatsi, looking to kickstart his career after it's fair to say that his career has stalled. Do you feel that Joshua has to put on a statement performance to keep his name in the mix and keep his name in people's mouths, which is most important, I guess?
Listen, he's in a division at the moment, and it's not just here locally. Sorry, I nearly got run over. That's why. Sorry about that. I've just lost my way a little bit. He's in a division at the moment. Is that it's not just nationally but globally. Is unbelievable. It's world class. Do you know what I mean? We got big fights over here. You got people like Dan Aziz, who's number 2 in the WBA. Bites is number 1 in WBA. Dmitry Bivol's the world champion. Then you got Arthur Beterbiev. There's big fights out there, man. He's knocking on the door. Paul Stepian is a tough fighter. He's from Poland. Never boxed outside Poland. 19-0. Shaq Pitters has actually been out there training with him. So he said, you know what? He's not bad. He's a potential banana skin. I think Buatsi has to be on the ball. But Buatsi's obviously been out there working with Virgil Hunter, who's one of the best trainers in the world. Buatsi's a serious talent. And if Hunter can add something to his armoury, and we see it on Saturday night, boy, that's going to be unbelievable, because, we go off Buatsi's last performance against Craig Richards, who's a world-class operator, and he beat Richards in a tough fight, but he come through that, and you look at that and you go, this kid's going to go on and win a world title, and it's been frustrating, and I'm just glad to see him getting his career back on track.
Buatsi and Aziz destined to meet, you feel?
Oh, definitely. I think it's going to happen, because where does Dmitry Bivol go? What's he going to do? Are they going to go for the undisputed against Artur Beterbiev, or is Dmitry Bivol going to drop down to super middle and try and take on Canelo, and that fight title then becomes vacant? Then you get 1 and 2. They could be fighting for the vacant title. So what I'm saying is there's loads of opportunity there for sure. Trying to get run over here. So there's loads of opportunity there, and I think a world title imminent for both of those, or a world title shot is imminent for both of those, it could be against each other, depending on. There's so many moving parts in this light heavyweight division at the moment, and there's so many unknowns. We don't know where it's going to go, but both guys are knocking on the door right now.
Both guys are knocking on the door indeed. I just wonder, just slipping off to something a little bit outside of this fight week, Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith versus Chris Eubank Jr. too. A lot on the line maybe, do you feel, for Chris Eubank Jr. So in terms of where does he go if he doesn't get the win against Liam Smith?
Yeah.
Fair thing to say?
Absolutely. I think, where does he go if he don't get the win against Liam Smith? I'd probably say he'll be chasing that fight with Conor Benn. And I don't know what Conor Benn's situation is at the moment. I think that's in the hands, of the commissioners at the moment, or of the anti-doping bodies. So we'll have to see what happens with that. But that's not looking too great for him. But I think that Eubank Jr.'s in a must-win situation. We get a different fight, by the way, from the first one. I think that there was certain things like I think him draining down the weight to box Conor Benn in the first place as a place. I think that has an impact on the body, and I think your recovery time when you're older, he may not have had enough recovery time. The punch resistance seemed to be gone, or was it just a case of? The fight's left him, because fighters do get old overnight. So there's a lot of ifs, buts, maybes and a lot of unknowns going into the return. But I think we've definitely got a different fight to the first one. I still see Liam Smith winning the fight. But I think Eubanks is going to do better than what he did the first time, for sure.
Spencer, you mentioned Conor Benn. A lot going on around Conor Benn right now. I think the latest thing is that sparring partners or people have been told maybe not to spar with Conor Benn at the moment. What do you make of that? Do you feel that's the right decision, right thing to go about it whilst his case is still up in the air?
Well, yeah, because I think this situation needs to be resolved, and I think until it gets resolved, that's where we're at with it. It's not a witch hunt against Conor Benn. Just got to follow the system. The system has to be followed, to set a standard, set a precedence to everybody else out there. The young kids that go looking at growing up and becoming professional boxers. They see this shit going on. They think, oh, that's all right, let's do that. And they get like a little slap on the wrist. So we have to follow the process. If he can prove his innocence, he proves his innocence. But right now, he shouldn't be doing anything until that case has resolved itself. That's where I'm at with it.
As someone who's suffered an unfortunate injury in the ring, it's come to light that David Light suffered a mild stroke after his fight with Lawrence Okolie. Look, he came out of the fight with a lot of credit. People saw him as a knockover potential for Lawrence, and he proved to go the full distance and get that kind of warrior mantle from it. But suffering an injury, unfortunately, after the fact. That's
tough this game is. That's why we can't afford to have drug cheats in there. People get injured. People get permanently injured. People die. It's a tough sport. It's a blood sport. It's a tough game. So we've got to be on a level playing field. That's my point. That's why I'm so passionate about it. Because, I know the dangers of this sport more than anyone. It nearly cost me my life. So what I'm saying is, I get quite passionate talking about that sort of stuff. I go, come on, man. Let's just fucking play fair. So I don't like all that. So David Light, I wish him all the best. I hope that I wish him a speedy recovery. I know that he's had problems and they operated on him, right? I know that I believe they operated on him and he had a mild stroke and they removed the blood clot, I believe. So my thoughts and prayers are with his family and let's pray that he makes a full recovery.
You're a really good person to ask my next question to. Thomas Hauser wrote an article about Anthony Joshua and said that maybe he should retire, and I just want to see him take more punches. Yeah. You're talking about the dangers of the ring, but also you championed AJ in terms of bouncing back in that press conference. Yeah. I was there when he lost to Usyk. Yeah. Do you understand Thomas Hauser's sentiments, or do you feel that that's not the right path for AJ?
Nah, Thomas Hauser's talking shit. He doesn't talking about retirement right now. It's crazy. All right, look, we need to still see more. We didn't see it against Jermaine Franklin. Yes, he did still look a little bit gun shy, or he didn't believe in. He's got lack of ability in his confidence right now. But that's because of inactivity. We need to see him more active. It's not good enough. Boxed Alexander Usyk last August, then we see him in the ring last month. We need to see more of that. He needs to get out again in the summer before maybe heading into this four-man competition in December. I know there's talks going on with that, but we need to see AJ out again before that. I think that when he's more active, we'll see a better performance. I think the one thing that's missing for him is that rawness that he once had. That ability to go in there, roll the dice and throw 4 or 5 punches, but use that. Like I said to him, you're educated now, so you can go in there with that rawness, but be more educated about it. Don't be so reckless. But throwing single shots and 1-2s is not going to beat the top guns. It's not going to beat the big guys. There has to be improvements, but I still think there's room for improvements, sir. Sure. Talking about retirement, someone's talking about retirements. bullshit. Well, I mean, what are you going on about, mate? Give the geezer a chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know that, you know, you see a lot of people writing online and go, oh, AJ's done now. This is the best AJ you're going to see. I believe there's still more. But, I mean, he's definitely, like, talking about retirement right now. Fuck that, no way.
The other side of that retirement talk is the idea that a fight against Wilder is a cash out. Is that fair to say? What are Joshua's chances against Wilder?
Listen, Joshua wants the biggest fights out there. He's been around a long time. You know, he's been around a long time. Since 2012, you know, winning the Olympics. Now we're in 23, he turned pro. So he's been a pro 10 years now. He's not a baby anymore. He's a 2-time world heavyweight champion looking to become a 3-time world heavyweight champion. You got to box Deontay Wilder. You have to box Tyson Fury or Alexander Usyk. They're the guys you have to box. So it's not a cash out. It's an opportunity. You know, and that's what Anthony Joshua's going to do. He's going to go, I'm going to go in there and I want to take the fight to Deontay Wilder, and the winner obviously boxes Tyson Fury or Alexander Usyk. So that's what you have to do. You've got to go through the process. So all that tells you is he doesn't give a shit who he boxes. He's not scared of boxing Deontay Wilder. When people go, oh, it's a massacre, one shot. Well, guess what? Joshua can whack as well. And if he lets his hands go, who knows? It's exciting, you know. And one thing that the fans are going to miss when Anthony Joshua retires are those big nights of boxing, you know. So all the people that are sitting in their armchairs going, oh, he should retire now, this and that. Anthony Joshua has changed the face of boxing in Britain. That is a fact from the 2012 Olympics, you know. And I am championing that. Because, you know, you've got to look at the kids that he's inspired. These gyms, they're all the kids that are in these gyms. They all started there. The guys that are boxing today, like Shaq and Peters and all those guys, they were watching Anthony Joshua win the Olympics thinking, fuck, I want to do that. He's inspired millions of people. Give the geezer respect for that. You know, he's a kid that come from a fucking council estate and has worked his way up into a 2-time world heavyweight champion. What a lot of people don't see as well is the work that he does for local communities, local boxing clubs, the money he donates to charities. You know, people don't know that because he doesn't brag about it. But trust me, he's done a lot for the sport of boxing, and there's still more fight left in him. I think that the British public needs to give him a little break on that.
A couple of questions I want to ask you, Spencer. This interesting little comment came from Mike Tyson about in this day and age now for boxers, you can't stink up the place of the words you use. You have to be exciting. If you stink up the place, you get the boot like you do in MMA. Yeah. Do you have to be exciting now in this day and age, or is there room for people with different types of styles in boxing now? No, I
think that it's an entertainment business, more so than ever. Self-promotion, you know, like the social media, the world has changed massively. You know what I mean? It's not just about if you're good enough. It's not about how good you are no more. It doesn't matter how good you are. You've got to be an entertainer as well. So Tyson's talking a lot of sense there, you know. It's not just about what you can do in the ring. You've got to sell yourself outside of it as well. That's a massive part of it. Promotion is huge these days. Like what you guys do, this is like, you know, doing these interviews. That keeps you relevant. It's important, you know, and people want to watch them, and why people are watching them keeps you going.
Final thing for me, Lauren Price, bit of history, British title.
Love that, you know. Yeah, Kirsty Beverton, she's up for it. She's really up for it. But Lauren Price, yeah, looking to become the first ever women's British boxing champion or titleist holder. Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, she's done so much, that girl already. World kickboxing champion, played football for Wales. You know, she's won an Olympic gold medal at middleweight. Now boxing for the professional welterweight British title. I love that. You know, she's an inspiration to you know, millions of people. And yeah, good luck. But it's going to be a good fight. Babington can fight as well. It's a tough fight. It's a big step up for Lauren Price. But I know that she's been wanting this fight for a while now. She's going for it in her, what, full fight, is it? Yeah, incredible. So yeah, it's going to be a big night Saturday. It really is.
Spencer, I'm looking forward to it. Good conversation. Thanks for being to SecondsOut, sir. Appreciate it.